Blessed be. What's up, witches? It's Lunaea here with a casual unboxing today. I almost got dressed, and then I thought, why? Why? I've got my red and green on. My hair's a frickin' mess. And so we're having a casual, leisurely unboxing. We might see Pyewacket. He's been a crazy boy today. He loves it when I have my hair up in a bun. And today he just flat out attacked my head, like bit me in the head and everything. So he's being, hey, 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 hey. He just stole my lighter. Telling you. Let me see. Bye. Come on up here. Come on up here, baby boy. Pyewacket. Come on, up here. I took some treats out so that when he jumps up on the back, I can treat him and he can smell them. So you could hear a giant crash and the breaking of glass anytime now. At any rate, we are here for an unboxing, regardless of Pyewacket, and we are unboxing this gorgeous deck called Tarot Mucha. Now, Alphonse Mucha is one of my favorite artists. Art Nouveau is one of my very favorite styles. Art Nouveau, Art Deco, but Art Nouveau. When I was 12 or 13, I don't know if you guys remember Pier 1 Imports. Hey, looky, here's what I forgot to do. And it was Christmas time, and we were there. I was there with my mom, and they had these incredible, beautiful long prints of Alphonse Mucha, and I found these two. One was Étoile du Soleil, and the other one was Étoile de la Lune, Star of the Moon, Star of the Sun. And I was just in love with them. They were expensive at the time. They were probably only like $15 or something each, but at that time it sounded so expensive. And I went and showed my mother and begged and begged and begged, and she got them for me. And those prints hung on my wall, and I mean just on their cardboard backing through many apartments. When we arrived here, there wasn't a place to put them, and by then they'd been splashed so many times with salt water in ritual, and they'd been torn and they were kind of falling apart, and I finally got rid of them. And I'm actually really sad that I got rid of them, because now they would be really expensive to replace. But I have this deck, so it's all okay. So we have a beautiful box. This is Lo Scarabeo. There are 2 images. Actually, there are 4 images. This says artwork by Giulia, Massaglia, and Barbara Nosenso, 78 cards with books. Let's just say artwork by Alphonse Mucha, adapted by these other people, because they do use actual works by Alphonse Mucha. And it says the same thing on that side. All right. And of course, as I get going with my charcoal burning and my candle burning, I'm getting too warm. Oh, my shoulder. It hurts so much. Okay, so we've got this really nice box. And a nice lid. And nice blocking card. Here's Tarot Mucha. Here's the card backs. Ouch. Okay. And then let's look at the copyright. The book says Lunaea Weatherstone, Massimiliano Filadoro. So those 2 people have other LS decks. Let's take a look here. It's wonderful as I go through, the collection, and I start discovering that I have multiple decks by certain people. So let me see here. We want... Okay. First one is, Tarot Mucha. And the next one is the Vice Versa Tarot. Okay, so this is Lunaea Weatherstone. And the Sacholi Oracle is Lunaea Weatherstone. And the Mystical Cats Tarot is Lunaea Weatherstone. So several by her, and then the Filadoro Do you care about this? If you don't, click forward. Samurai Tarot is Massimiliano Filadoro, as is, Tarot Mucha. So I've just got the 2 from him. And there you have more information. Now, moving on, let's see the back of the book, nice little squared off paperback, an extraordinary tribute to the art of Alphonse Mucha and to the Tarot masters of the past. The copyright on this is 2014. And I do have, there's another Art Nouveau deck that I did, and there's the Ethereal Visions Art Nouveau deck. Absolutely glorious, but this one really takes me where I want to go because of the artwork of Mucha. So here we go with the Fool, and we have the female. We'll find out if there's, how many men there are in this deck, but Alphonse Mucha definitely focused on the female form. And the Art Nouveau style there, the outlines, the flowing, lyrical, organic forms. Look at the beautiful borders on these cards. So we have standard. She's got the bag on her shoulder. She's at the edge of a cliff, and there's a doggy nipping at her heel. So we are bringing in the standard imagery. And then we have the Magician. Look how beautiful. This is kind of genderless. So again, reinterpretations with the standard tarot imagery using, drawing from Mucha. And I am by no means well-versed enough in his work to say whether each and every one of these cards is taken directly from an image of Mucha's. But the style is certainly there, and it's glorious. I mean, look how beautiful. Delicate. Amazing. Here's the Empress. Yes, baby. Well, come on up. Come on. Come on up, Boogie. Bye-bye. Come on. Oh, for heaven's sake. Come here, little one. Oh, I see. He's got his red pipe cleaner. He has a pipe cleaner that has become his favorite thing, and now he talks. He brings it and he talks. Thank you, honey. Did you bring me a toy? Did you bring me? He brought me his kill, his red pipe cleaner, so I have to praise him. Okay, so here's the Empress. Looking at, what she's sitting on. What is this over here? Very interesting. There's the Venus symbol, the wheat. So again, now we'll go a little more quickly through because we know these are standard. We're just appreciating the artwork. There's the Emperor. The Hierophant. Look at that imperious look. And boy, we do definitely get the idea of people groveling here, not just supplication, but groveling. Here's the Lovers. That angel above's looking pretty serious. The Chariot. Look at the Sphinxes. Oh ho ho. Aren't they glorious? What you doing, baby? Oh, okay. And Strength. The Hermit. The Wheel of Fortune. And this is depicted as a windmill. We have a windmill, and we've got a wreath, and we have an hourglass. So there's a lot of indications there of the wheel and of something turning and of time passing. That's clever. Then we have Justice. Not Blind. Hanged Man. And here's Death. Sorry. I had to take a closer look at it myself. Because when I'm doing on my OBS here, I'm looking at a very much smaller image than you are. So here's Temperance. Look at her, the Devil. So the Devil is female. And then we have the tower, the star. Look at that. The moon. Okay, this is one of the images that I had on my wall without the towers in the back. So, I mean, this exact image, but it was long and narrow, and this organic plants curling around. Just a glorious print it was. There's the sun card with the naked baby on a horse and Judgment. Pi, what are you doing? And here's the other image that I had as the world. This was Étoile du Soleil. So I just love seeing those images again. I really miss them. And then we go into the cups. Here's the Ace of Cups. And, it's not a realistic style because it's got that outline, that kind of cartoony outline to it. But there is depth and dimension and shading, and, it has more than that flat cartoony idea. So this is kind of a place where, styles, different styles within Art Nouveau. We've got that cartoony style of outlining, but then we've got a more realistic shading. Here's the 3, the 4, and you can definitely see faces. She's kind of considering. She's a little dissatisfied and considering. And then we've got, now more than dissatisfied, I'm upset. So it's definitely a deck where you can see what's going on in people's faces. Here's the 6, the 7. And look at how the hands are up, like, whoa, too many choices. Whoa, overwhelmed. The 8. She's walking to us rather than away from us, which is different than most standard things. The Wish card. And the 10 of Cups. Wee-hee. There's the Page and the Knight. That horse. That's a fancy horse. The Queen and the King. Then we have Pentacles. So we kick off with the feminine elements here. 2, the 3. Again, keeping very closely to the standard tarot images, just in this absolutely gorgeous style. The 5, the 6. Look at him scattering coins. That sense of generosity, but also that sense of class, of I'm more fortunate than you, more pity than compassion. 7, the 8, working away. The 9 and the 10. There's the Page, a turbaned gentleman, the Knight, the Queen and the King. Then we go on to Wands. 3, 4. Sorry, I got to keep my eye on him. He's been so crazy. What are you doing, bye? Okay, he's just playing. It's like with the toddler when things get too quiet. There's the 4, definitely looking like, wedding-y collaboration. The 5, very standard. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Look at this, how interesting, of just, sort of that guardianship, but everything's lined up and being maintained. And this is just like too much to handle, too many things to handle. There's the Page and the Knight rampant and the Queen and the King. And we've got, and I'm looking at the, how interesting is this? We have, I'm going to check this out right now. Look at the symbols at the tops of the card. The Page has like a knight's helmet. The Knight has a horse. The Queen and the King each have a crown, their crowns look different. But I want to find out about this helmet and horse thing. Just to see if they mention it anywhere. And you know how upset I get when people make decisions that are significant, looking significant, and don't say anything about it. Knave, knight, queen. So they call them knave, knight, queen, king. All right, let's go through the rest. I'm going to set those aside and let's just finish this last suit and then we'll go digging. All right, there's the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords with the blindfold, the 3, the 4, 5, 6, the 7, the 8, also with the blindfold, the 9, and the 10. Ouch. That's a very active 10 of Swords. And we have knave, knight, queen, and king. Okay. So going back to the book here. And this book is in all languages, so, oh. Do they do that in this? Wait a minute here. Sample reading. At the very, very back of the book, so there's, all right, this much is English, and then we've got much abbreviated sections for Italian, Spanish, French, German, and Russian. And at the very, very back of the book, we've got these 4 symbols: knave, knight, queen, and king, but there's no explanation as to, those particular symbols. So I'm not going to worry about it. Taro Mucha. Nature is a temple in which living pillars sometimes give voice to confused words. Man passes there through forests of symbols which look at him with understanding eyes. And that is from Charles Baudelaire, from Correspondences Les Fleurs du Mal. What are they? The bad flowers? Sick flowers? I don't know. All right. At the end of the 19th century, after bloody revolutionary movements that set fire to half the world, a period of relative calm fell over Europe. The collective imagination was captured by the idea that the worst was over and that the new century, now at the door, would be an era of peace and prosperity. Advances in science and technology were visible everywhere: electric light, automobiles, flying machines, cinema, vaccines for dire ailments. Even the most skeptical were moved to amazement and wonder. Hi, Wacket. Buddy, he is now. Hey, honey, let go. He's trying to chew through a greenie spot. If you come up here, I will give you a treat. Come on. If you come up, I'll give you a treat, boo. God, I am Swamp Witch today. Emmentai. Okay. Gazing back at this period of optimism and happiness, prosperity and frivolity, we have named it La Belle Époque, the beautiful era. At the heart of this burst of brilliance was the City of Lights, Paris. In its cafés chantants, artists argued about emerging styles of painting and sculpture. Among these was Art Nouveau, the new art, a wide-ranging movement that spread like tendrils of a flowering vine through Europe and onto the Americas. That's a wonderful, or onto America, that's a wonderful image there, very Art Nouveau image. Its common vision was the idea that everything made by human hands could and should become an art form, including architecture, jewelry, furniture, clothing, and lighting. Why wouldn't jewelry already be an art form? Come on. Alphonse Mucha stands out as one of the most important figures of this movement, for he had spent his entire life in this artistic philosophy long before it became the fashion. Indeed, Mucha never called himself an Art Nouveau artist, even though it is most often his work that comes to mind when the term is used. In the true Art Nouveau spirit, Mucha did not limit his art to painting. His gifts embraced sculpture, jewelry, stained glass, interior design, and above all, theater. Really? His renown is due to the wide reproduction of posters that, from the moment they appeared on the scene, defined the Mucha style as recognizable and unique. In his figures, Mucha brought to life the longing of the symbolist poets, many of whom the artist knew, to reject a slavish depiction of reality, and to suggest emotions and moods that penetrate to the essence of things. And this essence ultimately is mystery. Mystery is reflected in the beauty of the women in Mucha's posters. They are dreamy and distant, like emanations from a different plane of existence. It doesn't matter if these diaphanous goddesses bear the likenesses of famous stage actress Sarah Bernhardt, the model for Mucha's most famous posters. Really? Or are used to advertise cigarettes or beer. They are priestesses offering initiation into an aesthetic cult. These messengers of refined elegance are the evolution of the cursed women of the decadent poets and the dreamy princesses idealized by the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. Ultimately, Mucha's femme fatales are archetypes at ease in the role of an allegorical muse. Might seem that the decision to dedicate a deck of tarot cards to the work of Alphonse Mucha is motivated only by an aesthetic choice, but the Mucha tarot is more than just an artistic reinterpretation of the usual tarot figures. Mucha won his initial fame by creating a theater poster that placed the central figure in a haloed frame evocative of a saint rather than an earthly actress. Graceful ornaments that recalled icons turned a prosaic poster into an image of the divine. It is this quality of being imbued with the deeper meaning that makes his style particularly well suited for tarot. Beyond being merely decorative, Mucha's work inspires an emotional response. I would say absolutely. So then there's a section on using the cards, mixing and shuffling, majors and minors, and then we just go into the arcana. There's no description at the beginning of each. We just kind of go in. Cups represent the element of water, the element of emotions, relationships, intuition, and love. So we have that little thing at the beginning of each chapter. And then we've got, the descriptions. So let's shuffle this sucker, hey? Not an inordinately chunky deck. It fits nicely in the hand. Sorry, my tailbone's killing me. A little stiff, but not too bad. Not like you have to strain and pain to shuffle. Certainly one that will loosen up over time. Okay. They shuffle chunky. They don't shuffle like single cards coming off. That, with stiffer decks, when you bend them like this, the cards come off in chunks. With thinner decks, you can really make them go 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. They really do intermix with each other. This is a little more difficult. And before I continue shuffling, let us invite allies and ancestors, guides and guardians. Please be present to us now. Please open up that channel. Open up my ears. So that your messages may be clear, insightful, practical, and useful. All right. We offer you fresh water, and we offer you light and the fire of Azrael. Be a true oracle. May every viewer that is watching this at the time you're watching it receive the information you need to receive. So mote it be. All right, let's do this kind of shuffling. We're going to do, we'll see what flies out, but then we'll do 3. Hey, you know what else I didn't do? Oh, God, how do I find it? There we go. Oh, Pyewacket. He has done his best. There we go, to rearrange my desk. I'm glad we're getting towards the end of the season because I really need to change the cloth. Whoa, there's one. Did you see that? It rose up out of the deck. Some of these are something. So we have a Queen of Cups there. Okay. And we have another chunk that has come out. So I'm going to shuffle these. Another queen. Wow. And we have 9 cards, so we're doing this whole thing. This could be a little long. we've got a good mix of everything here. And I know you're having a hard time seeing them, so let's take these first 2 rows. Let's move everything back. Because what is a ZenWitch unboxing without a rearranging of the furniture? Really? Okay. So, with a 9-card spread, I always take a look at the general. We've got cups, wands. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana out of 9. That's a good predominance of majors. And we have, let's see, cups are 1, 2. Wands, we have just 1. Swords, we have 2. And no pentacles. So we've got 2, 1, and 2, but the predominance, of course, is majors, so we're talking about major stuff here. And as I'm shooting this today, I am shooting this on December 20th, 2020, 12/20/20. And Saturn has transited into Aquarius. Jupiter just transited yesterday. There's the exact conjunction of those two in Aquarius tomorrow on the solstice. Pardon me. That everybody is getting very hysterical about. And, you know, my opinions on that. And I know that, you know, everybody's talking about it, focusing on the solstice. The conjunction has been happening since November 30th. It's going to continue till mid-January. The solstice point is where visually from Earth those two get as close as they can get. So, you know, it is kind of auspicious. It is a wonderful synchronicity to have that happening on the solstice, and we'll certainly make use of that energy. But let's look at where this is leading us now. So the major arcana talk about big things in motion. And we start off with 2 queens, and let's go to the book to see what they do with the court cards. Cups being the first suit there. Where'd you go, Pai? Oh, he'd taken a nap. Okay. Queen of Cups understands the emotions of others as well as she understands her own. Her intuition is her strongest attribute, and she prefers to act from its guidance rather than from the limitations of logic. Her dream life is as real as her waking life, for it reveals the inner journey her soul has undertaken. She invites you to open your awareness and imagination. With great compassion, she offers to help you know yourself. If this card does not represent a person, it can mean an emotional time that leads to greater understanding and a more open heart. I love the court card descriptions with this deck. Then we have key ideas: feminine beauty, deep intuition, compassion, understanding without judgment. Then we have the Queen of Wands. Let's see what she says. Okay, the Queen of Staves, we're calling them staves in this deck, combines intuition with practicality to spark a creative blaze that warms all who know her. She brings passion to any undertaking and inspires others to strive for excellence. When she focuses her will on a purpose, it grows with astonishing speed, like the sunflower that is her emblem. So you see the sunflower there. She commands great energy and power and rules with true nobility of character. If this card does not represent a person, it may mean a time of creative innovation when old ways are challenged by new ideas. So I want to look at the king here for a moment. It shows a time of decision making and taking charge. So each of these court cards, if it's not a person, it talks about a time of, okay? And I always say, if, you know, the court cards, if it's not someone external, then it's talking about those qualities in you that need to be utilized right now. Okay, so we've got passionate creativity and great intuition together. So a time of tapping into your own emotions, taking care of your own emotions and saying, what can I do with this? How can I channel that emotional energy, the reactive emotional energy? How can I take that energy, channel it into passion and creativity and bring forth? And then we have the Strength card. So I think it's talking about how we channel. A magnificent golden lion rests peacefully beside a tender maiden. They are under the open sky with no need for shelter or protection, either from the outside world or from each other. Though the lion could savage the maiden with one stroke of his mighty paw, she is not afraid. The goodness of his heart is more powerful than his instinct to destroy his prey. And also, her calmness is not a threat. She's not a threat to him in any way. His natural impulse to kill has been subdued by the gentle trust of the maiden. There you go. She too has controlled her instinctive fear of the beast, allowing her to see his profound beauty. This is true courage, not the lack of fear, but the strength to move beyond it and embrace the unknown. What beautiful encapsulations of these cards. Overcoming baser instincts, conquering fears, the joining of two opposing forces in harmony. So, we've got emotions and creativity. Sometimes we can get so lost in emotion, and the emotion can kind of sweep through and pull us, this way and that, to the point where we're not able to use our creative resources. We're sort of at the mercy of our feelings. So the Strength card is saying here, if we're not afraid of what we're feeling, and we can sort of sit with it, like she's sitting with the lion, sit with the emotional energy, that we don't have to be its prey. We don't have to be preyed on by our emotions. Rather, we can balance it with that creative passion. And, okay, hold on a second. We work together with our emotions, and then we can channel it into creativity and passion. So there's the first three. The second three. The Hermit starts us off. On an icy mountaintop, a hermit welcomes the solitude, looking at time, that illuminates the solitude that illuminates. He welcomes the solitude that illuminates. Withdrawn from the noise and rush of the world, she is in search of herself, without the distractions and opinions of others. The light within her lantern is six-pointed, symbolic of the union of the water of intuition and the fire of inspiration. What do we have up here? Water and fire. Intuition and inspiration. Wow. Okay, so getting ourselves calm so that these two can work together. And here, that is the light of the hermit, the union of fire and water, intuition and inspiration that is going to illuminate the darkness. So here's us moving into this darkest point of the solstice. This alchemy combines what is felt with what is known and leads to true wisdom. Another meaning for the six-pointed light is universal wisdom, mysteries that reach far beyond earthly limitations and into the cosmos. The hermit is a teacher of these cosmic mysteries for those who are willing to make the effort. Only the most sincere seeker will trek to her lofty hermitage. The light from her lantern shines through the darkness of ignorance to guide those who are ready to look within. Universal wisdom, spiritual solitude, the illumined soul retreat into sanctuary. So again, this is us, we had to deal with all of our emotions and everything in lockdown Christmas, and learn to be gentle with ourselves through it, and to be vulnerable and sit with things. And now we move into the dark to really find the wisdom that is there. And at the center, we have Five of Swords. Okay, are these swords I'm looking at here? No, that's staves. Hold up. Okay, Five of Swords. A battle is concluded and the warriors think over their victory or defeat. So I like that this deck doesn't say that this means defeat. It's victory or defeat. But it's the moment after the battle. I like that that is specified, and I like that meaning of this card, is this is the moment after the battle to assess what has been won or lost. Oh my God! That's like a whole new frickin' window opening on this card that I have always been kind of not so sure about. Sweet. The knight who has prevailed gathers his spoils of war. The defeated men must decide their next step, to join with the former enemy or journey back home to strike out alone. No war lasts forever, and when it's over, the world will have changed. How you deal with it determines your character. Key ideas: conquest through forceful action, defeat, gloating or plotting revenge, life after wartime. Okay, folks. At the center of this is the question, how has this year shaped you? How has this 4 years shaped you? The battles that we've been through, the battle that we are currently in the middle of, it's peaking right now. Peaking. Wow. So here's the question. Here's what we're looking to shed light on. Look at the Hermit looking towards this. She's saying, okay, how are we taking our emotional reactions, and how are we taking, here's what I want in my life, and saying, how do these two work together, and what am I taking out of this battle? What has been won or lost? How has this all affected me for better or worse? And then on the other side, look at how we have the 1x, the ix, the xi. It's like a mirror. Then we have justice. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Migish. Oh my gosh. Oh my sugar. Okay. Look at how the center of this reading has the win or loss, and it's bracketed by these two cards. Measuring all human deeds upon her golden scales, justice restores balance by eliminating what is not needed. Acts of injustice meet with their rightful consequences, and her sword of truth dispels illusion. Do not think that you can avoid her gaze. She sees through any veil of self-deception in which you have swathed yourself. There is no need to fear her influence if your conscience is clear. What you have set into motion will come to its conclusion following the laws of the universe. That's karma. If circumstances are not as you would have them be, learn the lesson now and be on the right side of justice next time. The sword is yours to wield as well when your heart is pure and your motives are true. Key ideas: karma, consequences of your deeds, facing reality, putting things back in balance. So, what has been won or lost? How has this battle changed me and affected me? What has been lost needs to go away now. We need to assess the lessons there and then let it go. That's what it's talking about, eliminating what is not needed. And then the consequences and justice coming. So then the balance point is, what are the lessons learned? What have I lost? You know, what was taken from me? What was lost in battle? And then the gain is, what have I learned from this? How has this shaped my character? What skills have I learned over this time? Did you learn how to cook and bake? Did you learn how to deal with your own emotions? Did you start meditating? Did you start exercising? Did you learn how to restructure your business so it can be virtual? What have you gained from the limitations and the battle that was imposed on us here that we're still in the middle of? All right. So in light of this now, we've got Temperance. We can kind of look at outcome, sort of the setup, present stuff, the core of the issue, and then we can look at where, you know, what can come out of this. At the place where the water kisses the land, I love the writing. A maiden performs a mystical rite to restore spiritual harmony. Pouring water from a smaller vessel to a larger vessel is symbolic of the single soul being part of the great soul. There is so much in this deck. When we are in divine connection with all that is, we are in balance in our individual selves as well. The maiden stands in the waters of life, which flow from a common source to all parts of the universe. You too stand in that living stream. You too pour the offering of your spirit into the greater vessel of humanity. I want to cry. Doing so restores you to a perfect status of harmony, perfect state of harmony, for you are honoring the commitment you made when you took human form. Wow. Mystical union, grace, connection to oneness, balance, serenity. So the things that you have learned and the discipline that you've learned, how you have grown your soul through this time of battle raging, is what you now have to offer to the universe. And the upgrading of your soul and your skills as a soul automatically upgrades the universe. When you work on this, you work on the whole because it's all connected, right? Then the 10 of Cups. Here we go. Joy is coming to you in ways that may seem miraculous. A trouble or struggle is fading away, and the happiness that follows is more intense because of it, as a rainbow follows the storm. This is a time of wonder, not just for you, but for those you love and for those in your fellowship. Home, health, love, prosperity, all will benefit now. Take advantage of opportunities to share your good fortune with others, not just in material ways, but in ceremonies of celebration and thankfulness. Family and community, lasting happiness, a time of peace after struggle, relief. Okay, you guys, this is very encouraging that we are now truly moving into a time of resolution where things were developing and worsening and culminating. And now it's saying that we've reached that culmination point, and things with the 10 particularly, things are now, we're feeling a little bit of relief. Now, we're not there yet. You know that as well as I do. Be careful. Keep your protocols in place. But this is promising a time where we really can truly and fully exhale. Then we have the 6 of Swords. A ferryman transports a traveler across choppy water toward a farther shore. The traveler takes no active role in this journey. He sits within a shelter of swords, removed from the world, wounded and withdrawn. So this is somebody else rowing the boat. When he gets to the other side, he will take up his life's path again. For now, he gathers his strength and allows healing of body and spirit to do their work. There are so many nuances and things that are being added to what I know about these cards already through this deck. It's amazing. Letting others carry you for a time. Passive acceptance of help. Recovery. So this is talking about relief and recovery. This is talking about us as a whole, as the collective, as the collection of souls, as the universe, the one song, the us together, the unified field. Talking about us finally getting to that place of being able to rest, to be relieved, and to heal, and letting others take care of you. So what we're doing now, the whole is taking care of the whole. It's like being in a choir and there's a long note that's being held and people stagger their breathing so that there is no gap. When you can't do it, you let others carry. When you can, you add your prayers and carry others. Okay, they're telling me to take another one. And they're telling me right off the top. And we have the Knight of Wands. Staves. The Knight of Discs. Whoops, I went right past it. The Knight of Staves may rush in where angels fear to tread. I've used that so many times. This boldness without forethought may be foolish, but it can also lead to greatness. He's susceptible to failure more than those who never take a chance, and yet fortune seems to follow him and keep him from true harm. He will champion any righteous cause and pursue any path that promises glory. If this card does not represent a person, it can mean a time of increased activity or unexpected travel. Fearless action, possible recklessness, a surge forward in an endeavor. All right. This is not the one. I was going back and forth between, do I take one off the top? Do I shuffle and cut? Do I shuffle and take one off the top? What do I do? So we're asking for one final one. This is indeed talking about our energies picking up and moving forward then. And it is another warning not to be reckless. So at the end of all this, when it's talking about, okay, relief and we're moving forward and all this kind of stuff, this is saying don't be reckless. So we did need that one, but I want one more. Okay. And there it is. And I asked for a major. I said, I want one more, and I was going to say, and I'd like it to be a major, and that one flipped out. So we now have the Emperor at the end. The embodiment of civilization and its dominion over nature. The orb in his left hand represents that dominion. It is the orbis terranium, the world of earth, which is his to command. With such power comes great responsibility, and the emperor takes his role as divinely decreed. He does not shirk his sacred duty, which is to protect his people and provide a solid foundation for the future. The scepter in his right hand is his symbol of authority. He who holds the scepter is recognized as a rightful leader who is deserving of respect. The emperor rules his empire with strength and determination, as symbolized by the ram's heads on his throne. Once he is set on a plan of action, he will see that it is done. Like the mountains in the distance, he will not be moved. Leadership, fatherly protection, power, authority, man-made civilizations, male sexuality. This is talking about the change of leadership in this country. This is talking about having leadership for a change and what we can look forward to, that there is finally going to be some leadership and a feeling of daddy's home, a feeling of somebody actually with their eyes on us, are their eyes on the American people. Of course, in another country, well, let's face it, it does affect you. This past administration has affected the entire world from its lack of leadership and its horrible criminal corruption, criminal neglect. It has affected the entire world. The entire world has felt less secure when the U.S. has a madman at the helm. That no longer is the key. That's no longer the case. We have a father figure. We have an authority figure. We have someone experienced in D.C. We have someone who is an experienced politician who knows the game, who knows the job, who's going to do that job in an ethical way. So, and for you personally, it's saying time not to be reckless, but time to really structure your way forward and recognize yourself as the authority in your life and say, here's what I want to accomplish moving forward. Here's what I'm going to do. So mote it be. All right. Wow. This was a long one, but man, it was worth it. What a fabulous deck. I am just blown away by the writing and the infused meaning, the new meanings and the new layers of meanings that come to these cards. Definitely a deck to hang out with. If you like this art style, get it. Even if you don't like the art style, it's an excellent deck. All right, you guys, please like this video so more people can see them. Please subscribe to my channel so I can get to my first 1,000. Please send me a donation if you find value in the work that I do. Please join my Patreon if you would like to learn how to be your own astrologer and get into some deep dive exclusive patron content for learning how to read your own birth chart. Folks, I am losing my mind seeing how many people have their charts in their hands and they don't know the first thing about what they're looking at. Jump on Patreon, subscribe at the priestess level, and you will get monthly deep dive astrology videos that will teach you how to read your own frickin' chart. All right? Okay, you guys. Thank you for everything you've done for me this past year. Thank you for, making my channel a viable thing. Thank you for your comments. I do try to answer them all still. I will see you, when will I see you? On Wednesday for a live stream, on Monday for a tarot unboxing, on Friday for an oracle unboxing, sometime over the weekend for a prayer circle or some sort of gathering, usually. Also, feel free to send me a deck. My wish list is below. It's growing every day, and I'm taking things off of it every day as people send me wonderful presents. I will read for you from that deck if you do that for me. I wish you well. I wish you a blessed Yule and safe and healthy. We're all going to be okay, you guys. One way or another, I promise you. I'll see you next time. This is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.